I was hearing on the radio on the way here. They're taking people that are like right in the home stretch of medical school and getting them out in the field earlier than they normally would because they've got the training. It was just like they were almost ready for graduation. It's like you know what, we need the bodies out there.
We need you. Come on, y'all. We need
exactly.
you.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a lot going on. So I say salute to all the essential workers out there, people that's on the front line. You know,
absolutely.
They definitely people at the grocery stores. Oh my God! Listen,
we're really learning on all this who the essential people in our society is.
Yep.
And it's the healthcare workers and it's the people that stock those shelves because people got to eat, man.
That's true. Let's start us off with icebreaker really quick.
All right.
Are you ready?
Let's do it.
If you could be any supernatural creature, what will you be and why?
Any supernatural creature. Oh, that's a tough one. So there's something that I've always found really attractive to the idea of anything that lives forever, whether it's the Dorian Gray thing where you got the painting that ages for you while you stay young, that kind of thing, because grappling with mortality and the fact that there's only a limited amount of time, because there's so many things that I want to try to do in my life, and there's only a finite amount of hours in every day, and days in a week, weeks in a year, years in a lifetime. So something that gives me more time.
That's dope, man. Cause you feel you can accomplish more in that amount of time.
I mean, I'm gonna try to accomplish as much as I can in the time that I got, but if I had more, I wouldn't be mad about that.
Awesome answer, man. Awesome answer. Ladies, gentlemen, boys, girls, welcome back to Lavish Journey podcast. It's your host Jay Gaines, and here today we got my brother Michael McFarlane here.
Hey,
how you feeling today, man?
It's keeping healthy, I love it. Keeping our safe distance here, like you're supposed to.
Little social distancing.
Social distancing podcast, doing it the right way.
I love it. So let everybody know what you do out there. Give them a quick intro about you and everything.
Yeah. So I'm a musician. I perform solo a lot. Justin over here caught me on a live stream as part of the 48-hour live stream concert that Meg Stepka put together, and he hit me up to come be on this podcast. So Michael McFarland Music is my primary page. I'm also an audio engineer. I'm a visual artist. I've got another project that's called Hello Headrush, where I dress up like an android and have this whole like futuristic, like a post-apocalyptic sci-fi story that I sing about. Oh yeah.
That sounds amazing.
There's 2 projections of like other versions of me as my bandmates on either side, so I've got that going too.
Okay.
I'm a songwriter at my house in Gordon Square. We host house concerts obviously that's all on pause right now.
Right.
But a concert series called McFarlane Manor, where we bring in like 6 acts and do that on a regular basis. And we host a yearly festival called Manor Fest there as well. That's a 3-day music and arts festival. So that's kind of all that I'm. When the world is open, I'm usually playing out at least 3 times a week. All over the region, northern Ohio into western Pennsylvania.
Wow.
And when I can, I tour all over the United States playing music as well. So I keep busy.
Wow, that was a hell of an introduction, man. I love it. No, that's awesome. I have so many questions. Okay.
All right, hit me.
Let's go to the roots real quick. When did you start creating music, playing music? Like, how did this all come about?
So I first time I started playing music when I was either 5 or 6 years old. I've got 12 years of classical piano training under my belt from that.
Oh, that's cool.
When I was around 13 or 14 was when I first picked up a guitar and started, learning songs that I was hearing on the radio, things like that. It was around when I was 14 years old that I wrote my first song, started my first band when I was like 15, and I've been, out there performing ever since then, either in a band or solo. So
that's pretty dope, man. So you had a passion for this for quite some time, man. Yeah,
it was one of those things that when I wrote that first song and shared it with people and seeing the response that it like the effect that it had on people, because that's the biggest thing for me is that I'm not trying to write music just for myself. I want it to affect people. I want it to be part of their lives and to bring whatever it is they need, whether it's a comforting voice or inspiration or or just like this sucks, and hearing that someone else feels the same way that I do
right
now,
I got you.
sometimes that's a big deal. And I've had musicians that were that to me, and I want to be that to other people.
That's good, man. You gotta like spread the light.
Exactly.
I love it, man. And so when was your first performance? Because you say you started at 15, right? Was that your first performance at 15 as well?
So I think my first performance, I was probably 14, and
shit.
I'd been learning to play guitar. I'd written like one song at that point, and I had a couple other covers that I felt pretty good about. And so I grew up in Kent, so just a little bit south of here.
Okay, for sure.
My father was a professor at Kent State, so I grew up in Kent, and my older sister was like, "Hey, there's an open mic night at this place called Brady's Cafe.
Right.
You're going there, and you're gonna play these songs." Like, all right,
let's do it.
I was terrified, and but I got up there and did it, and nobody threw a tomato, and I haven't stopped since.
Oh, that's amazing, man. That's a great story, and that's good how she pushed you to like, come on, let's go do it. And you was like, well, let's go.
Yep.
They say you gotta take advantage of those opportunities, And
I have to thank a lot of people that have pushed me throughout things, because I've got a lot of timidness about sharing what I do with people, and I was talking with my partner Amanda about this, that there are a lot of things that I need someone to give me that little push, like go out there and do that. So just yesterday, so Amanda is a dancer. She does flow dance with a lot of props and fire and things like that. It's pretty cool.
Awesome.
But we set up on the front porch of my house yesterday and did a performance for the neighborhood. And I was scared out of my mind to do that. I was like, because most situations, when I'm performing, it's because I've been asked to play somewhere, like someone's booked me for a gig that it's somewhere that I know I'm supposed to go and I'm supposed to be playing there, and it's like I have a reason, I've got permission to do this, but something like that where it's like nobody asked us to go out on the porch. It was just one of those things like, we're all trapped inside here. We've all got a bit of this cabin fever. Maybe this is something that's going to be, bring, like you said, bring a little bit of light into people's lives. And we had, neighbors all up and down the street out on their front porches watching.
Really? So it was like a community, y'all just out kicking it.
Yeah, but, Amanda had to push me to do it. I was like,
shout out to Amanda.
This. So, thank you. Appreciate that.
See, and that's amazing. So so you stay on the west side, right?
Yeah, that's where I live.
Dope. So as y'all was out there playing music, everybody was like coming together and kicking and everything. How did that feel for you?
It felt great. Like, because there are a lot of neighbors that I've never met in person. I haven't spoken to. We go about our daily lives. I've seen them like taking out the trash cans and like driving off to work every day, all of that. But I've never really had a conversation with them, and I came inside after that performance and had like half dozen friend requests from people that live like right across the street from me, and so weird as it sounds, this whole staying indoors thing has already brought me closer to people that live right next door to me. So that's that was pretty cool. It's so having someone give me that little push to get outside my comfort zone is already, I'm always it's easy to stay where you're used to and stay where you're comfortable and that you're welcome.
Buddy.
But there's something to be had in those spaces where you feel out of place. So I'm working on it.
That's dope.
Working on it.
I fight this quarantine for, a lot of people is breaking us out of our comfort zones. I think we needed that. You know what I mean? And by you doing that, you see like the beauty in that though, how it was breaking out of it.
Absolutely. It's and we've had people ask us to do that again. So the next time we got a warm day, we're gonna be trying to get back out on that porch and share some music with folks. And in the in between there's live streaming like
so you do live streaming
we first met. Yeah, so I've got this whole recording studio set up in my basement.
Yep.
So just like you first saw me playing, I can go down there and do some live stream concerts. So and I'm thinking that even after quarantine's lifted, there were people from all over the world that I've met in my travels. Like I had some friends in Rotterdam.
Rotterdam, where's Rotterdam? Man?
It's in the Netherlands, like in Holland.
Oh, hold on, wait a minute. You have people out the country, man?
Yeah. I had people in Holland that were watching. I had people out on the West Coast. I had people that. Because I've playing music, I've toured all over the country, so there are these people that I've connected to that I haven't managed to make it back to their city.
Right.
But there were friends that I made in Madison, Wisconsin, and Normal, Illinois. My friend Cara, I saw that she tuned in. I think she lives on the West Coast now. Wow. But there was one show that I played with. I got double booked with 7 metal bands at a show in Texas, and this dude Steven, I saw him tune into that show. So like all these people that I've had the honor to meet as I've been traveling around doing that live stream performance, I was able to reconnect with some of them and be like, oh hey,
what's going on?
The Facebook algorithm had hidden their posts from my feed, so I hadn't been seeing much for them, but I saw those names pop up and was like, what's going on? So
no, that's awesome.
So that was really cool. I had my family all lives out of state now too. So my sister in Missouri was tuned in, my brother John in Oregon, my brothers that are in California, like they were on
family all over, man.
Yeah, they've all gone in different directions.
Yeah, so. Have you been to California? That's my favorite state, so I had to bring this up.
California's cool. I love to visit there.
Okay.
It's not for me. I don't know.
I feel it though.
There's something in the air that I don't know if it's something about the plants there, like the pollen or something, or if it's just that everyone there is high all the time, and so it's just a contact buzz that I'm picking up. Yep. But somehow when I'm in California, I always feel like slightly lightheaded and disoriented the entire time that I'm there. If I fly there, if I drive there, it's not the same way.
You drove to California before?
Yeah, I did.
Whoa, so was that for tour?
Yeah, it was a 40-day tour that took me all the way to Texas, California, up to Oregon, over through Colorado, and all the way back.
So this 40-day tour, when did this happen? How long ago was this?
Oh, that was about 6-7 years ago, maybe even a little more than that I did that one.
Wow.
And that was about 20 days into that tour. I realized that 40 was too long for me to be by myself on the road, because I was traveling by myself a lot of times. I was sleeping in the car, and like you're meeting new people all the time, but there's also all that time on the road that you're by yourself. You don't have anyone to talk to, any of that. So since then I've done a lot of like 17 to 20 day tours, and that's been sort of my sweet spot, and it's kept me mostly east of the Mississippi since then, but I've hit most of the country that's east of the Mississippi on a more regular basis since that longer tour.
This is inspirational. So what do you learn from that first big tour you did by yourself? Because I know that was definitely an experience. You traveling, going different places, playing different places, sleeping in a car sometimes. So
yep. Honestly, the biggest thing that I learned was that there are wonderful people everywhere you go. That there are people that are welcoming and that are excited to hear something that they haven't heard before, to meet people they haven't met before, and to make real connections. And that get, like you said, getting outside of that comfort zone, like we were talking about before. Some really beautiful things can happen. And I also learned that, when you get outside of your normal everyday routine, you think of different things to write about, different ideas as far as songs and experiences. But more than anything, I learned that a lot of this country, it's really, from city to city, it's kind of the same. Like you go there and the people aren't that different from each other, even, from north to south, east to west. It's people are people, and everyone's looking to make a human connection with other people, and if you can find that, then that's really the whole thing.
Wow, I agree, man. That was well said, man. No, seriously, I do agree, because I travel a lot too. I love traveling. I travel like on the West Coast a little bit and everything. And you're right, though. The people I met throughout that journey was just great people. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Throughout the experiences, like I went to LA, got a flat tire, and then this lady picked me up, and she was just real chill, giving me good advice the whole way. I was like, wow, you meet good people along the journey of traveling out your comfort zone, going out your city and just seeing the world.
Well, even on top of that, I've mostly stopped doing this because of some health reasons. But a lot of the tours that I did, the like 17, 20-day ones, I did on a motorcycle.
On a motorcycle
with that guitar strapped on the back of it. And
that's badass.
And I'll tell you, if you're not getting some good stories. Traveling around the country on a motorcycle with a guitar on the back, you're doing something wrong. you are messing up if you're not getting some good stories out of that.
So hold on, where do you start at and where do you end at on a motorcycle? Like, what state do you start in? What state do you end in?
So all my tours I set up as a loop. So it's, I was living in North Carolina for a bit, but now everything starts in Cleveland, and I do a loop and come back around to it.
Sounds good.
For example, one route might be start in Cleveland and then hit Columbus and then Louisville, Kentucky, and then you go a little bit further south, and then you cut east and do a string of shows through Georgia. You get down to Florida, then you make your way up the East Coast and hit Baltimore and then New York and then circle your way back, hit Philadelphia. You hit Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, hit Pittsburgh, and then you're back home.
Oh, I see what you did, the loop. Yeah.
So,
wow.
So you get that kind of loop, and then you can do those in different directions where you head up to like New England and you do a loop up there that takes you all the way up to Maine and then down through Connecticut and all that and back that way. And
that sounds like a fucking journey, great journey.
It is. I mean, I've seen a lot of the country from behind the handlebars of a motorcycle.
Do you record any type of documentation of that?
I took a lot of pictures along the way, but I had an idea at one point to try to do like a little documentary series about what it's like to do that.
Yep.
But the logistics of it to really do it right. So much of the travel was focused on getting to the next destination, like playing the show, that adding that extra layer of trying to really document it. I never quite got to that point. I wanted to. I thought about.
Which you had like a video man following you around.
Right, exactly. Like somebody in a car that's got the camera going on me the whole time. You're trying to act like you're out on the open road by yourself, but you really got a camera crew and like the whole. It's like those shows like the Grand Tour or any of those where actually if you want a great series mini series about that kind of traveling, Long Way Round is it's a story about Ewan McGregor and one of his buddies that circumnavigated the entire globe on motorcycles.
And it's called Long Way Round?
Long Way Round. Yep, they went all the way from England across Europe, all the way through Russia, and then over to Alaska, and then back down to the United States.
They went on a journey.
Yeah, they went the whole way that they as far as you possibly could on land. Right. As far as that route
Did they inspire you to do your journey like that?
I'm trying to remember which came first. Whether I watched it because I had been doing the motorcycle trips or vice versa. But it certainly if there was a point where I was like, I don't know if I'm doing this again. Like I said, until the health issues held me up, because I had a pretty bad ankle injury over a year ago. I'm all about safety. I wear the full protective gear and all that. So if I'm not feeling comfortable on the bike, I'm not gonna go out and do that. So that's all been on hold for the moment until I get this thing.
Hey, you'll be back up and rolling soon, man.
I'm doing those physical therapy exercises and I'm back to taking stairs 2 at a time. So I'm getting there, man.
Yeah.
I'm getting there.
Like you said, life is a journey, man.
Absolutely.
And such as you on this journey of music, man. It sounds like you're just running with the passion right now. Like, no, seriously, like you're living the dream. You say what made you just want to just get up? I'm just going to go travel and play music,
So, music, like we talked about, it's been a passion since I was like 14 years old. Right. But so I came across this idea not too long before, and this was really the like tipping point of like, I have this motorcycle idea. Am I actually going to do this? But it's called the Law of Anecdotal Value, I'm sure the original formulation was slightly different, but the version that I use is: given any choice in life, assuming no harm to others, always choose the path that's going to give you the best stories. Because as a songwriter, that's our currency, is the stories that we've accumulated, the people we've met, the experiences we had. So I think it might have been my friend Neil that when I posted a picture of my first motorcycle, he's like, "You going on tour on that thing?"
Right.
I was like, Oh, I guess I am now.
What kind of motorcycle you have?
So my primary motorcycle right now is a 2008 Triumph Bonneville.
Okay.
So yeah, it's got real old school look to it. I've got another one that's in the garage and isn't working right now. That's a 1974 Swiss military bike. Looks like looks like Indiana Jones should have just stolen it. Like,
how long you had that for?
That was actually the one that I did my first motorcycle tour on.
You did a tour on that?
Yeah,
that's badass.
It broke down halfway through. But I got an amazing story out of that too.
What's the story about that one, man?
So I was I'm trying to remember exactly where I was. Charleston, South Carolina. I had played a show in Charleston the night before.
Yep.
And I was heading south out of town to play a show in Florida. And like, you know, I there was this big bridge that I went over, and the bike just wasn't managing to get any juice going up that bridge. And after coming down, like I couldn't get any acceleration. I managed to limp it into, like, it kept stalling like while I was going. Limped it into this gas station, and you know, I was like, all right, what do I do now? I was looking at it, trying to figure out if there was anything specific that I could see that with the tools I had on hand that I could fix, and there wasn't anything obviously wrong with it.
Right.
And so I asked the gas station, like, hey, is there anyone around here that might be able to look at this?
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, well, right over there's a tire shop, and the people that run that are they're super nice. You know, walk over there, chat with them. They might know someone that can help you out. And so I ended up meeting this woman and her boyfriend that ran the tire shop. And I stayed there for the afternoon because this is when I was living in North Carolina still. I was only, even though I'd been on the road for a week and a half at that point, I was only about a 4-hour drive from Asheville where I lived at that point. And my roommate at the time, my buddy Chris, he was like, hey man, I can be there by evening. We can get that on the trailer and get it back to, back home. You only have to cancel one show, and you can finish the tour in your car. So during the 6-hour wait between then, the woman that owned the tire shop basically adopted me. She like went down the road and brought me back a sandwich. And,
that's love
and stuff.
That's dope.
And she had told me we've got a garage out back that you could store this in for as long as you wanted if you needed to. That didn't end up happening, but I was a complete stranger. She took me in, took care of me, and then this was 3 years later. I was coming through on a different tour on a different motorcycle. I was in good shape.
I got you.
And I was like, I have to see if she's still there. And I pull up to where the tire shop had been, and it had been changed into a Birdhouse Boutique. And I was,
whoa, that's a big change.
I know, and I was heartbroken, and I was looking around. I was searching for things online, see if I could find anything on my phone.
Right.
There was a woman with a produce cart, who was right across the street, and I went and chatted with her, and I was like, yeah, the woman who used to run this, she was really kind to me 3 years ago, and I wanted to say thank you. And she's like, oh yeah, Ruth. She shut down the tire shop after her boyfriend passed. But she works at the restaurant right down there.
Okay.
And she lives in. She lives just right down that road. She's got a VW Beetle.
She's over here.
So drive down there. Here's the address. House looks like this. If the Beetle's not there, then go to this restaurant.
Right.
And so I drove there. No car on the driveway, drove to the restaurant, and I walked in with the guitar on the back, and she's like, Michael! And she went and talked to the manager, and I ended up playing a concert in the restaurant for
really.
Yeah, she's like, set it up. We want to hear you play.
Oh, sure, let's do it.
Yeah, so and they, again, she was like, he's playing for our customers. You need to feed this boy. And I was like, I'm not gonna say no.
Right, man. Hey, that sounds like a great experience. I would have said yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
You got some food too?
Yeah, I got fed. I just set out my guitar case and played for tips, and But someone who had been so kind to me, and like one of the, because that was one of those moments where your bike dies when you're halfway through your first tour. That was my first tour.
Right.
And you're like, what am I gonna do? And again, it's everywhere I've gone. It's just been kindness is
awesome.
What I've found everywhere, and being able to to come back and find her again. It felt like something out of a movie. Like you've got that sad scene where you pull up and the tire shop's gone, and you're about to just hit the road all dejected, and then this lady at a produce cart is like, "You looking for someone, honey?"
Hey, that is. It's like
tell me that's not a movie script.
It is. I agree. So that sounds like exactly like a movie. Like, oh no.
So if anyone's looking to buy the rights to that story, it's already got a Hollywood ending to it. Hey, we're ready for you.
Hey, it sounds like a damn plan, man. That does like a movie though. Hey there, you looking for somebody? Yeah, I'm looking for so and so. Right? She's right down the street. That is like a movie.
Yep, it absolutely was.
Wow.
It was surreal. So, like I said, law of anecdotal value. Assuming no harm to others, choose the path that's going to give you the best stories.
Man.
So that's why I started touring on the motorcycle, and that's why I do a lot of the things that I do.
Wow. Great story, man. No, that was really great. I got a few fried questions for you though.
All right.
Would you rather tussle with a bear or a cheetah?
Ooh. I'm gonna go with a cheetah.
You're gonna go with the cheetah?
I'm not gonna try to outrun him. I'm gonna wait because I know I can't go toe to toe with a bear. And I know I can't outrun a cheetah.
Okay.
But if we're just face to face, I might be able to take a cheetah in like hand to hand because I'm wiry.
Yeah, I guess.
I'm not gonna be able to take that. I'm assuming we're talking like grizzly bear.
A bear.
Yeah. So I'm going with cheetah on that one.
You're going with the cheetah?
Yeah. I'm gonna stand my ground and I'm gonna face him down.
Come on, cheetah. Let's go.
Exactly. Tackle him and see what happens.
Okay, for sure. All right, for sure. All right, if you used to hang out with any cartoon character, which one you hang out with?
I wanna spend an afternoon with the Animaniacs.
Oh my God, the energy's another level. The Animaniacs. That one. Hey.
Yep, absolutely. Animaniacs. I think that would be a riot.
So why them out of all the cartoons? Like, what makes them unique?
So of any cartoon that I've revisited from my childhood, the Animaniacs is the best written, the cleverest, the best wordplay, and I freaking love words. Like that is the English language, and messing with the English language, puns, wordplay, all of that. That is my favorite thing, and the Animaniacs is so brilliantly written,
right?
And having a conversation with them, so a lot of the kind of humor in the Animaniacs was based on the Marx Brothers, which was that was something I was raised on as well. Old black and white, comedy,
old school, yeah.
But it's super super witty, fast paced dialogue.
Yep.
So yeah, I'd love to try to hang with them in a conversation. I think that would be hilarious.
It would definitely be energetic, man.
Yeah, I'm going with the Animaniacs. All three of them, Yakko, Wacko, and
For sure, sounds good. All right, obviously you love music.
Yes.
So if you was trapped on an island for one full year, what 3 albums or mixtapes will you listen to?
Let's see. I'm gonna go with Black Mile from the Surface by Manchester Orchestra.
Okay.
For when I'm feeling sad.
I gotta say that. Keep it going though.
I'm going to go with let's see, Young Love by Matt Carney for when I'm feeling a little bit upbeat and emotional.
Okay.
And I'm going to go with Starset's latest album. And was that one? I can never remember the name. I think Vessels. Vessels. I think Vessels is the one. Vessels by Starset. For when I'm feeling a little bit like ugh.
Yeah.
So between those 3, I think that covers most of my moods. So.
I'm gonna check them out, man.
Yeah.
So what type of music is it? Because I'm not sure what that is. So tell me what type it is.
Manchester Orchestra is. They kind of came out a little bit of the emo side of things, but they've developed so much. And Black Mile to the Surface is this beautiful, lushly produced, and incredibly sad but beautiful set of songs that flows from front to back. Like it's one of those you put it on and you don't stop it until it ends.
Wow.
Young Love by Matt Carney is Matt Carney's one of my favorite singer-songwriters. He's a little bit hip-hop influenced, but dude with a guitar that's got some of that like Paul Simon, but with some like mid-90s hip-hop vibe going into it. So a lot of like beat-based stuff, but with guitar and singing on top of it.
Wow.
And it's just got a really good energy to it. And he's been one of my big inspirations as far as how I approach songwriting, starting with rhythms and building on top of that.
Yeah.
And then Starset is they're a concept band that the whole idea is that they're communicating this music back from the future and trying to like educate humanity nowadays about what things could look like if we take the wrong turns. And they're kind of like they fall in, I guess, the active rock genre, but they're a little bit like melodic metalcore, but incredibly good songwriting, super catchy, and just like if you want to bang your head and like get some aggression out, they've got some of that too.
Got the energy.
So, yeah.
Oh, it sounds like you have a perfect balance to be on that island then.
I was gonna say like I feel
That's
like
a
that
perfect
covers.
balance.
You gotta have those moods for when you're lonely, when you're angry, or when you're enjoying that island sunshine. So I think that gets all three of those.
Dope. Speaking of good music and good artists, okay, so if you could perform with any artist, dead or alive, which one would it be?
Ooh, any artists that are alive. Paul Simon.
Really?
Yeah, Paul Simon.
Ooh, that'd be a good one.
Yeah,
that'd be a good one. Definitely. So, what's your favorite state you would travel to?
Favorite state that I've traveled to? The most surprising experience I had was in Boise, Idaho.
Really?
Because I ended up staying for a couple days with like this hippie commune there, and it was completely unexpected. I didn't know what I was going to end up in. I was on there's this website called couchsurfing.com that like
somebody told me go on that.
Yeah,
okay,
so the nights that I wasn't sleeping in the car when I was on the motorcycle, I always use that cuz I brought a tent with me just in case things fell through. Smart. But I either with friends in various cities or through couchsurfing I would find a place to stay. And so in Boise, Idaho, I ended up staying with this this intentional community that they had this whole gray water system where their bathroom sink, instead of going to the drain, it went into a bucket, and you poured that into the back of the toilet to use. And like they were growing their own food out back, and they were right next to this. I don't know if it would be considered technically a mountain, but there was this like long winding path of this big hill that you could overlook the entire city. And so I did a little hike by myself up to the top of that, and awesome. It was an entirely unexpected experience, and it was beautiful, and the people there were it's I think it was just because I'd never been to that state before. I'd never been to that city, and there were again beautiful people that welcomed me into their home and shared what they had with me, and that was really cool.
That's awesome, man. It's always those states too we don't expect, like Boise, Idaho. You would never expect that. So I went to Indianapolis, Indiana, had a great time. So I can definitely relate. Like
Absolutely.
What you mean? It'd be those states you never expected.
And in Indianapolis, when I was on tour one time, I was touring with my buddy Salt. We were doing this little duo tour, and we did the same thing. We were couch surfing there, and there was a guy that he ran a local musical equipment lending library. So if you needed a sound system for like a block party you were throwing in your neighborhood, you could like check out the entire sound system from this lending library, and it was like a $20 a month subscription fee to have access to all of this stuff. So that communities that didn't necessarily have the systems for this, or people that wanted to do one-off events or things like that, they could borrow a sound system and microphones without having to pay exorbitant rental fees. And so and I stayed at his place for a couple days, and he showed me this really cool arts collective that he was part of, and all these artist lofts and studios that that were all his friends. So it's there's some really cool stuff where you don't necessarily expect.
I agree, man. I agree. It's like everything you're saying sounds like a movie in a way, man. Like a great movie. Speaking of movies, what is your favorite movie?
Catch Me If You Can.
Catch Me If You Can. Catch Me. I'm trying to think.
Leonardo DiCaprio, Tom Hanks. He plays the con man. That
I bet I saw it.
it's a good movie, man.
Yeah.
One of the best scores
I had
as
to
well.
see it. If it got Tom Hanks, I had to see it before.
Yeah. It's Leo and Tom Hanks. It's a great one, man. It's got why am I blanking on his name right now? The whole cast is phenomenal though. It's so good. Amy Adams was in it. And Christopher Walken, that's who I wasn't remembering. He's in it as well. He plays Leonardo DiCaprio's his dad. So
what?
Yeah.
I gotta check it out. All right.
Yeah, you gotta watch it, man. You gotta watch it
for sure. What's the best? Oh, sorry, go for it, bro.
No, I was just reiterating. Go. Fantastic.
Oh,
movie.
I was saying go for it. I gotta check it out then because honestly, I think my latest movie I've watched was probably like 6 years ago.
Oh yeah. Pick this one up. Give it a watch, man.
Really?
You won't be disappointed.
Definitely. So, what actor would you like to kick it with?
Ooh, what actor would I like to kick it with?
Yeah.
I think Chris Pratt seems like a riot. Like I think he would just be so much fun to hang out with.
Have a good time.
Exactly. Hang out with Star-Lord for a bit. And,
that's not a good time. Kick it a
exactly.
little bit.
Exactly. I think he'd be great to hang out.
It's gonna happen soon, bro.
Hey, fingers crossed. Hey, Chris Pratt, look me up. Let's hang out. We'll video chat. Who knows?
Hey, you never know, man. Like how you said though, the journey is like that. It's these things that come out of nowhere, just like boom, boom. You know?
Absolutely.
It's all about manifesting. And how do you network and market yourself, man?
There's a lot of different outlets. A lot of it's online. Kind of like how we met each other, and it's a lot of it's just saying yes to any opportunity that's given to me.
Right.
Like if someone wants me to come play somewhere, I'll come play there. And that's ended up with with being part of, I don't know if you've heard of the Wizard World series of Comic Cons.
I'm hip.
Yeah. So I've traveled all over the country playing those.
Really?
Yeah.
How was that?
It's great.
Yeah.
Like, you're playing to all these people dressed up as superheroes and all that. And I'm a geek at heart, so I'm right there with them. Like I don't necessarily recognize all of them, but there's enough that is like, hey, I know that. I know that.
I know that one.
And it's cool because they have celebrity guests. So like the dude
awesome.
who played Darth Maul in episode 1 of Star Wars gave me a thumbs up while I was performing one
that's
time.
Cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of really cool stuff like that that's happened along the way just by by being open to unusual opportunities and saying yes. And there's a lot of power in being willing to, like we talked about, get outside your comfort zone, and I'm keeping on trying to do that. So that's honestly the biggest way that I promote myself is in person playing music, and now over the internet playing music.
Seriously, that's how I saw it, man. And I think I'm glad everything's kind of happening in a way for creators right now, because it's like forcing them out the comfort zone, such as like you said, playing live on the internet. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of people doing that's never done that before.
Right, and it's breaking through walls. Like if you would have only seen me if you'd been at the right venue on the right night, but you were hanging out on your computer or your phone and checking out what was there, and so that's that broke down a wall that we might not have, even though we live just across town from each other, we might not have connected if it hadn't been for that. So yeah, there's opportunities to make those connections everywhere.
That's awesome. I got a few more questions for you, bro.
Absolutely.
Would you rather travel outer space or into the deep sea?
Ooh. I think I've got to go with the deep sea because
yes, finally somebody said it. Okay, why?
All right, so there's so much of our world here still that is a mystery. And as you get further and further down past where light can penetrate in the ocean,
right,
we know that there's crazy stuff that we haven't even touched.
Imagine, man. I bet.
Yeah, so I think like I want to discover everything that's already within our grasp, and I'm all for space exploration. I'm all about that. But the thing is to get to, unless you're talking about introducing warp drive and all of those sorts of things, or folding space, wormholes, anything like that. Any space travel is going to take you so far from everyone that we know and love already, and it's going to end up being so isolated. And especially once you get into relativity, when you're traveling close to the speed of light, time moves differently for you while you're going to that other location. Whereas you could go, if with the proper equipment that can be built, you can go to the bottom of the sea and come back up, and your family's still there, your friends are still there. So there's an entire, the things that are down there look as weird as any aliens anyone's ever been able to imagine.
That's how I feel too.
And we still haven't found, there's thousands upon thousands of species that we haven't even scratched the surface of down there.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm with that.
I'm glad you said that, because I always ask that question. Everybody say, "Oh, I ain't fucking with the sea," and I said the ocean. I said I would go deep down there if I could, and because. Like you said, it's here on Earth. We have yet to still discover Earth.
Yeah.
When we discover Earth a little more, then we go up there.
Absolutely.
But,
absolutely. Like I said, I'm all for because I believe, statistically speaking, there is life on other planets. There's no way there wouldn't be. I think there has to be. But the universe is so incomprehensibly large that finding that other life is going to be, that it's going to take generations to do that.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like within our lifetime, exploring like setting up a dome at the bottom of the sea and living down there. Can you imagine how freaking cool that would be?
That would be really cool. I bet you'll see some of everything.
I'd rather do that than living in a dome on the moon.
You're right.
If given the choice between that, I'm going for undersea, because you've got life outside.
Yeah.
You've got this incredible menagerie of animals that we have no idea about that are down there. That imagine you're in a giant glass dome at the bottom of the sea. You're seeing all this around you the whole time. So yeah, that's what I'm going.
I'd rather go for that too, instead of just being on the moon. Just because do you believe like there's like sea creatures just like humans down there in a way? Do you believe that? Like mermaids or something like that? I'm
not going to entirely discount the possibility, but I'm going to put that as a low probability.
Okay. You never know, but hey there.
I think so. So the thing is, if there is intelligent life, or if there would be intelligent life, because I think that it's entirely possible that, given another million years, that there might be sentient beings at the bottom of the ocean.
Right.
But I think just on the time scale that we exist, humans as sentient beings have only existed for a fraction of the time that the Earth has been around, and we don't even know the exact what the ingredients that went into that stew that turned into consciousness was.
Right.
And so I think that it's entirely possible. We've got life. We've got teeming masses of life all over the Earth, and especially in the ocean, but existing in the same window on the same planet, in the same time window on this planet with another sentient species, I think is unlikely. So
I agree. That was well said once again, man.
I've spent some time thinking about these things.
That was well said. No, that was very well said, man. So do you read on stuff like this? Or are you do you read a lot or watch documentaries? I'm kind of an information sponge. Yeah.
I'm one of the only people in my family that didn't go into the sciences. So that's sort of, I absorbed a lot of random knowledge by osmosis over the dinner table growing up.
Yeah.
And so I don't read nearly as much as I can as far as in-depth reading, but I'm always going through the science section of news and looking up the crazy new things that have been discovered. So yeah.
Really? So what websites you going to look up some of that stuff?
I just go through the science section of Google News.
Oh really?
Yep.
And just I'm gonna look into it. I have never looked into it.
Yeah, because they got subsections of news that you can check out.
Right.
And scientificamerican.com, they've got a lot of really accessibly written articles that me not being a scientist, I can manage to process the ideas and digest those and understand them, at least think I understand them.
No, that's good though. I feel like it's all personal opinion, honestly. If you can understand them.
Yep.
It's like your own perception at that point. Seriously, that's good though. I'm gonna definitely try to look up some of that stuff, because you just knowledge the hell out of me. I was like, whoa, really? Now I'm looking at it differently. I definitely will go down to sea and be in a dome with life and everything. See that shit.
Absolutely.
For sure. Okay, I got a few more.
All right, hit me.
So what is your goal for 2020?
Ooh, so my goals have changed a lot since this month began.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I feel like March has been an entire year worth of living so far. So one of my goals was I wanted to put out a bunch of new music and some new music videos, and so part of that's happening starting tomorrow. I've got
Awesome.
my first new track that I've released in about a year is coming out tomorrow. It's called More Than You Believe You Are.
Wow.
And I got a music video that we finished shooting right before everything got shut down. Like
Right.
literally.
Perfect timing.
Yeah. We got the last shots done. Like during the same time period that they announced that all the bars and restaurants were closing,
Right.
and like, stay at home, all that started coming out. So we got it right under the wire, and that's coming out this Friday.
Awesome.
So that's been a big goal. I've kind of shifted a little bit of, because a lot of we don't know when things are when life's gonna get back to normal.
Yeah.
I've been planning on doing some touring and things like that. But we gotta see what music venues, like, no, you can't book anything right now.
Yeah, I know how you feel with that too, man. It's like kind of hesitant in a way.
Right, exactly. So right now I'm working on writing a lot of music. I'm reaching out to people about doing some co-writing, seeing if we can collaborate on things at a distance. Some of my people that I've been working on producing their records, they've got some audio stuff at their spots, and so I'm sending them over the tracks that we've been working on in my studio, and we're going to be working at a distance on those. So a lot of it's focusing on putting out new music and continuing creativity in every way that I can while we've got these restrictions in place, and being ready to when everything lifts and when things go back to normal, just be ready to
rock and roll.
Yeah, explode back into the world, and get out there and share what we've created while we're on lockdown with everybody that's that's been listening on the internet or from their front porches or all of that. So that's kind of the goal, is like find new ways to be creative and find ways to connect with people, even if we can't be in the same place working on things.
Wow. I definitely feel like after this whole thing we're going through is over, it's going to be a beautiful thing. Beautiful thing.
Absolutely.
All the creativity is going to flow, because everybody's underground right now, grinding, like how you said, creating music.
Oh yeah, we're all in the
themselves.
workshop, putting things together. It's going to be exciting.
That's good. I feel like sometimes we need to have these breaks, take a step back and really self-collect ourselves and everything, and like, okay, recollect and let's go. You know what I mean?
Let things breathe for a minute, and then, get yourself ready for the next thing.
I agree. And last but not least, what makes a great life?
What makes a great life? Creating beautiful things with people you care about.
Well said. I like that. So where can they find you at? Oh, yeah. Reverse. So you said you dropping a new song this week, right? Mm-hmm. Is that tomorrow, you said?
Yeah. So the 31st, in case you're watching this later, the 31st, the song's called More Than You Believe You Are. You'll be able to find it on, Spotify, Apple Music, any of those. Okay. And then the music video, which features one of the artists that I'm working on producing his new record. His name's J. Red Andrews. He was an American Idol finalist. And I think the second season, amazing vocalist. He's the main actor in the music video. He's amazing. That's coming out on Friday, and that is the 3rd of April. That's going to be coming out. You'll be able to find that on YouTube and Facebook. So yeah,
it's a big week for you, man.
Yeah, I mean, staying indoors and putting out music.
Hey, man, I love it. I'm pretty sure everybody's going to tune into it. I tried to click on it today and said not available. I was like, oh. I saw you posted a preview on Instagram. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. I got that 1 minute clip of it you can listen to. I'll send you a preview link once we get done here.
Okay.
You can see it before the rest of the world does. You're cool.
Shit. World exclusive. For sure. So where can they find you at? Social media, promotion?
Yeah, absolutely. Man. On Facebook, just type in Michael McFarland Music. You'll find me. On Instagram, it's just Michael McFarland. YouTube is Michael MCF Music. They wouldn't give me enough characters to put the whole thing in there. And Twitter is, I believe that's also Michael MCF Music. So yeah, you can find all of it at those spots.
Dope.
And MichaelMcFarlandMusic.com, and that's MCFARLAND. I know there are a couple ways to spell it. MichaelMcFarlandMusic.com. It's got links to all of that.
Dope. I like how you have all your social medias in the website. That makes it like 10 times more professional.
Yeah. You can go there, find everything
that,
from there.
I love that. Thank you so much for coming on the show today, man.
Oh, it's
really
my
enjoyed
pleasure.
it.
It's my pleasure.
It's like I went on a damn journey with you about everything. That's awesome, though. I'm looking forward to everything you're about to do, though. This coming week, and for the rest of everything else, man. Your journey, period. I'm looking forward to seeing it all.
We'll have to stay in touch, man.
Oh yeah, appreciate it, man, for sure. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you for watching or listening to Lavish Journey podcast, where we create, inspire, and spread greatness. We out of here. See you later, Facebook. Can you pose with a picture real quick, my friend?
Absolutely.
Awesome. We good.